Hello and welcome to the Intel Brief. I'm your host Daniel, and today we're going to talk about Trump says he's pausing migration from third world countries. The US is soon to take action against Venezuela by land, according to Trump, and the British government has welcomed a sharp dip in net migration. So lots of talk about immigration today. So firstly, US Donald Trump said on Thursday that he would halt migration from what he termed third world countries. In a post on Truth Social, he said, "I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the US system to fully recover." He also wrote that he would remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States and end all federal benefits and subsidies to non-citizens of the country, deneutralize migrants who undermine democratic tranquility, and deport any foreign nationals who are in public charge, security risk, or non-compatible with Western civilization. Trump wrote that he would include the special visa program for Afghans who had worked with the US in Afghanistan before the Taliban returned to power. So what? It'll be interesting to see if he actually has the power to do all of this. The US system is a very complex beast that I don't fully understand. And from what I do understand, the way he does these is through executive orders, but they are the lowest form of law and can easily be outranked by judges and then right up to the high courts. So while he says things like this, the actual truth on the ground might be very different, and it could be very difficult for him to actually get this done. And next, US President Donald Trump said on Thursday that operations to curb Venezuelan drug trafficking by land would begin very soon. The warning comes amid escalating tension with Caracas and with the military stepping up its activity in the Caribbean as part of what Washington says are efforts to stop transnational crime and drug smuggling. Venezuela, however, says that the military buildup and US anti-narcotics campaign is really a covert effort to remove leftist leader Nicolas Maduro from power. Washington views Maduro as an illegitimate leader and accuses him of drug trafficking allegations the Venezuelan president rejects. So what? Comically, I agree with Venezuela on this. I don't think this is about drugs. I think that's been pretty clear from the get-go that this is about a lot more than drugs and that Trump actually wants Maduro gone. However, strikes against the land would be a significant escalation as you are unilaterally conducting military action in a foreign country against their will. This could cause some significant international repercussions and pushback against the US. While I don't think there's any way anyone can stop them at this point, it could be quite damaging to the US's reputation globally, which is taking a heavy hit in terms of soft power during the Trump administration, just due to the way he's conducting himself in international politics. What these actually look like and how and where they'll be conducted is yet to be determined. I guess we'll find out when the bombs drop. But yeah, I don't think this is going to be received well by the international community. And lastly, long-term net migration to the United Kingdom for the 12 months up to June 2025 stood at 204,000 people. Figures released on Thursday by the National Statistics Agency showed the lowest level for the period of the last 4 years. This equates to a 69% reduction compared to the same 12-month period a year ago, which was 649,000. However, that figure includes the second half of 2023, which was an all-time record in migration for the United Kingdom. Wow. So what? This is interesting because this is mostly legal migration, which, most countries see as a positive, but the UK is pushing back on. I do kind of understand public services within the United Kingdom, where I live as an immigrant. are pretty strained at this point. Getting doctor's appointments, going to the dentist, getting housing um, is pretty tough. So I can see why there's been some significant pushback by people in the United Kingdom. However, the other side of the coin to this is there are significant staffing shortages in key areas where migrants are generally the main people to work, mostly in the healthcare industry and schools. So yeah, it's an interesting problem and one that I don't know how they're going to solve. So the way they're kind of looking at this is if they can reduce legal migration, they can kind of point to that as a success. Whereas most people in the UK has their anger and frustration is targeted towards illegal migration, which is still, continuing at pretty alarming rates. So yeah, it's essentially them trying to fix a problem that looks the same but isn't really. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting, and the kind of why they're trying to do this is because the party Reform, which is a new party that is currently running, is absolutely smashing them in the polls. So if they don't change their tact, they are going to lose to Reform, and Reform are pretty radical in their ideas. Yeah, I don't. I think Reform will probably win the next election, which was quite scary / interesting to see what will happen because, I'm not a British citizen. So even though I'm ethnically British, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, anyway, that's been your Intel Brief. I've been your host, Daniel, and I'll see you again tomorrow. No, on Monday. See you.